Jeffrey's procrastinating once again. He's got his computer on and he's trying to make money online, but Jeffrey, why would you switch over your tabs and start watching that? Adonis. Adonis outworks everyone. Push-ups, pull-ups, squats and sprints, business and reading. Adonis does it all and leaves any...
If you're trying to make money online, the amount of work you have to put in is probably lower than with a traditional job. Because, like, again, just the fact that you don't have to commute, it's remote work. The fact that you aren't commuting massively reduces time input to begin with. But on top of that, generally speaking, like, you can only be so productive with online work. I don't even know what he means by online work. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, day trading, Bitcoin, sales pages, like, I don't know.
Any man who wants to compete with him in the dust. This is what makes Adonis feel so good about being a man. And then there's you. Let me tell you my story. It's early 2022 and I've just finished a kickboxing session. Actually, I've just done 2 sessions back to back. It's Friday night, I'm cycling back home and I've noticed
Hamza would be selling pencils on the side of the road if he wasn't a YouTuber.
that as I'm cycling home, there's a lot of people at the bars in this town center where I live. And so everyone's like enjoying themselves, drinking, partying. And I feel like an asshole, but I can't lie to myself. I feel like this is just sad. Like looking around at these people here. They're sloppy drunk, falling over, drinking, dropping their bottles, talking like loudly, making random noises outside of the bar. I know that this isn't just me judging them from the outside. Like I've been like that myself. I've been the drinker, I've been the partier. And I know that there isn't actually a lot of fulfillment in that kind of lifestyle. And so I see the hidden sadness behind the masks that everyone's wearing where they're all happy right now, but they're going to be hungover tomorrow. They're also going to be too tired to do anything productive on Sunday. And then they're going to go back to work on Monday and hate their lives. By the way, bro, you probably haven't realized just how bad listening to degenerate music is every day. And so that's why I've made a new daily Spotify podcast.
Degenerate music. What, Miley Cyrus, I'm assuming?
That you can listen to so you can start your day off with some inspiration, and it's specifically for young guys who want to get onto self-improvement. Go click the top link in the description, load that up, follow the podcast, and then welcome to the Adonis Gang podcast. My mission is to make the next generation of young...
Why would I want to listen to that shit while working out? Oh my god.
Then continue watching this video. And then I see him. I see a guy that I grew up with. I see a guy who went to my school. And I ended up like, breaking on my bike and speaking to him. And, it's like nice of being polite of, oh, hey, like, what are you doing and stuff. And I know that he knows about me. I know that he knows about my YouTube channel. I know that he knows about my work. I know that he knows about the transformation that I've been in. And I couldn't help but to think, like, as he was speaking to me of how bad I could tell he felt growing up together, being basically like, on the same level. And now he is one of these random guys who's going out and having like pints of beer instead of actually working on the goals that I know he actually has. After a small conversation with him, I basically just cycle off. And this almost sounds cringe and forced, but I still remember to this day that I went onto Audible, the Audible app on my phone, and played like a David Goggins book, like his first book, Can't Hurt Me. Some guys might think that that's cringe, like, oh yeah, you had this like fake encounter, and then you played David Goggins, and then everyone clapped. But this was genuinely the truth. The reason why I still remember why I played the David Goggins audiobook after this moment was because I realized just how important discipline and doing the hard work really was. That I was here on this other side, no longer a degenerate. Because this, again, let me make this clear. I am not some random guy who's like, like me and you aren't invited to the party, and so we're saying like, oh yeah, like I bet the party sucks. I was the guy in the party. I was the drunk.
I don't know why people like fetishize David Goggins. The guy is like crazy. He's just nuts. Like he gave himself rhabdomyolysis and what? Can I help you? Yeah, you're a cat. He gave himself rhabdomyolysis when he was doing a fucking marathon that he didn't do any fucking training for. Like, the amount of times the guy has almost killed himself just by exercising is fucking crazy. Like, I don't know why people think, like, what he does is so cool. He nearly kills himself exercising. Like, what is admirable about that? Like, how about learning about fucking periodization and progressive overload, rather than just killing yourself with exercise?
I was the guy falling over. I was the guy vomiting. I was the guy taking a girl back home to sleep with her. I'm telling you from the other side, that life doesn't make people happy. It's just pointless pleasure. That all it does is just like mask over the depression.
Dr. Long.
I feel like the amount of work needed for certain content actually may not necessitate the best work-life balance. Some creators do nothing but create content, especially if it's scripted videos with lots of visuals. It just depends, I guess. Much love.
Well, yeah, it's true. Some YouTubers do overwork themselves. I definitely have overworked myself before. If you're talking about the most successful content on the platform, though, most of it is fairly low effort for the amount of money you get back. So, majority of the time, no, YouTube is a better work-life balance. Thanks for the donation, though, Omni Vegan.
That they live in these lives. You can tell how depressed someone is by how many substances they take. You can tell how fulfilled someone is by how sober and clean that they are. So this isn't just me being...
So things like alcohol, nicotine, caffeine, those are all antidepressants. They all have an antidepressant effect. So it's kind of like a misnomer that he's using. Like, you can tell how depressed somebody is. Like, I mean, if they're happier on these drugs, and their happiness is roughly equated to somebody who isn't on those drugs, it's a misnomer to say they're more depressed. Well, they're not if they're taking those drugs.
Being some like self-improvement cringe guy who's judging these people. This is me like basically judging my former self and thinking about how sad of a lifestyle this is. And maybe you can relate not so much with the drinking and the drugs, but with something like video games. When you see the people who you used to know who are still addicted to video games at this time, after you've made this...
Well, we know this is bullshit because his definition of addiction is playing any amount of video games ever. I can guarantee you, Hamza's just full of shit. Like, the idea that this guy doesn't play Call of Duty occasionally, like, fuck right off.
This progress, it almost makes you feel like hateful and sad, not so much at them, but at your younger self, because you remember being like that. You remember...
Yeah, I remember playing video games and, like, having fun, and I was mad at myself for having fun looking... Yeah, right, this makes sense.
Remember spending years of your life wasting away for something that wasn't even enjoyable. And so it really creates like this almost level of what normal people think is arrogance and narcissism, but we know is actually the weird version of self-love where you respect yourself so much you refuse to do these unhealthy habits like staying up late, taking drugs, playing video games, and masturbating.
This guy has literally made videos where he's up at 3 a.m. Like, the idea that this guy, as an adult, doesn't occasionally stay up late, like, you've literally debunked yourself. How many videos has this guy made lately where he's up at, like, 2 or 3 in the morning? So he has the second channel. Yeah, there he is. He's up at like 2 or 3 in the morning there. You can tell it's late at night. Another video late at night, 2, 3 in the morning. This guy stays up late.
The truth is that those like fun things that you sometimes get the desire of, you know, like hanging out with a girl or going partying, what you can do at this age is like the bottom tier, low end version of that fun. For many of the guys who are watching this, the biggest fun that they could have is what? What do you think? Like, what's the most fun an average guy can have? Like, watching something on YouTube, playing some video games, eating some random chocolate bar as he watches some random video.
You know, I'm pretty sure like most people have a social life and stuff, so like everybody watches movies, everybody plays video games. That doesn't mean they don't have other hobbies.
Video on YouTube. When you do these like fun things, the reason why I'm putting my finger...
I honestly wonder if this guy is genuine. Sometimes I feel he has good intentions and it's coming from the right place, but he just doesn't know enough cuz. Other times I think he's just a sellout.
Hamza is a grifter, and he'll say whatever stupid bullshit he thinks will sound good on camera so he can make more money. Nothing he does is genuine. Thanks for that donation, though, Gohan.
Is because these aren't actually fun. It's just that you've never discovered what real fun is. The reason why we do these fun things is because, why? You just haven't found your purpose yet.
No, I think the reason people do fun things is because people like enjoying themselves. The reason why you're trying to enjoy yourself is because you haven't found your purpose. What a fucking idiot.
Because when you do find your purpose, that's when you automatically begin to outwork basically everyone. You really do. You know if you're a purposeful guy.
So, this guy doesn't understand what a word like purpose means. Purpose is something that you subjectively, like, develop. It's not, there's no objective purpose out there where there's something that you kind of need to do. Meaning, purpose, these are existential things. They're things that interest you. They're things that you want to do. If you get meaning out of playing video games or spending more time with friends and family or watching movies, then that's your purpose. That's something that you like doing, and that's probably where you should spend the most of your time if that's what you enjoy doing over other things. Like this guy tries to give people this idea that the only thing you should do in life is like work and make money.
Or not, by just how different you are to 99% of men. Because you will be ruthless with your work rate. You will want to optimize all of your life to keep making progress in your purpose, in your big...
Yeah, so this guy assumes that everybody is only interested in working and making money. No. People want a work-life balance, and usually when it comes to, things that you make money doing, it's something that you wouldn't do otherwise if, money wasn't, something you needed. So if somebody gave you like $1 billion, you wouldn't be doing, you wouldn't be, doing any job. You'd just be spending all of your time doing whatever the fuck you want, and doing whatever the fuck you want doesn't involve, e-commerce or going to an office or, dealing with customers. You'd probably go to the beach and surf all day.
Mission, your big goal. And so when guys don't have that purpose, when guys are living like with a lack of purpose, a lack of mission, that's when they'll look at you and think that you're weird because you want to work on your goals all day. And some of these guys will actually be the kind of crabs who will pull you down, they'll make fun of you, and they'll basically genuinely try to stop you from working so hard. You probably know a few guys like that, who through their bullying, they're like...
Okay, I do not know anybody who would ever make fun of anybody for working hard. Usually when people try to pull you back from work, it's in your own interest. So, like, Jasmine will try to get me to, not upload or not stream some days because I'm just overworked and stressed. It's not that she's, like, jealous of me or a loser or something and wants to drag me down. It's, with the idea of that would be in my best interest. Who the fuck ever makes fun of somebody for working at a job? Cute gains...
Jokes. Basically tries to socially, like, isolate you or to socially make you feel worse when you're trying to be productive and healthy. It's not hard to beat people like that. Honestly, it's not hard to beat like 90% of people when you just do the right things with that drive, that sort of masculine passion, when you've realized what it is that you care about. I think a little bit of the toxicity is actually a good thing, especially for your first few years of being on self-improvement. The most progress that I see certain young men make is the ones who actually have quite a lot of that negative emotion inside of them. They were hurt by someone in the past, they went through a painful breakup, they got bullied. They use that as fuel to get themselves into the gym and do massive workouts and to make a lot of progress. And of course, you don't want to always be in this sort of like resentful, hateful mode, but using it productively can actually be a really good thing. And so if you want to, why not go and close your eyes right now and think of the men that you want to outwork? Why not literally think of the specific people who doubted you, who made fun of you, who bullied you? And think to yourself like where you're going to be in a few years from now and where they're going to be. This isn't, as healthy as possible. But this stuff really fucking works. And I wouldn't be here today if I didn't think like this. I'm telling you right now, like those super successful people that you see.
Hamza has admitted on camera that when he was making the most amount of money he ever did on YouTube, he was working 3 hours in an entire week. So he would film 3, 4, 5 videos in just one day, spend 3 hours on it, hand the footage off to his editor, and then do whatever the fuck he wanted for the rest of the week. Like, he's talking about, think about all the people who hated you, doubted you, think about, like, outworking them, being more successful than them, don't play video games, don't have fun, don't watch movies, and just work. He only worked for 3 hours in an entire week. That was his average fucking work week. One day, filming for 3 hours, and then the rest of the week doing whatever the fuck he wanted. Yeah, I'm gonna take advice from you, buddy.
Whether they try and act like wholesome and warm and humble, they have similar thoughts to this. They just don't speak about it because they know it.
This is a guy who's ashamed of himself. He has such a massive amount of insecurity. I think he feels guilty that he was able to make so much money doing, like, jack shit, just, like, blabbing into a fucking camera. So a way to cope for that is he tries to tell people, oh, I'm, like, all about work ethic, I'm all about getting shit done, I just work all the time, like when that's not the case, and it's self-admitted that's not the case.
In some ways that will make them look worse. I'll always bring you the truth and tell you, bro, I've thought a lot of thoughts like this during my, like, time of becoming more productive and reaching levels of success, because it creates this drive inside of you. One of the most valuable but somewhat controversial lessons that I could give you as man to man is to understand that life as a man is like PvP. It is this competitive zone. And the brutal reality of this, when you get a girlfriend or you get a wife, other men want to fuck her. You need to understand this.
I'm pretty sure if you're good looking enough, people will want to have sex with you too. I don't know how that's neither here nor there.
Other men want to fuck your future wife, and they will try to do so today. Your future wife is out there right now, and some other guy who's been working hard, who's got like a nice clean haircut, and he's in shape, and he's got a six-pack, and he's not bloated like you are, he's gonna go cold approach her today. What's gonna happen?
This is the most insecure fucking beta male mindset you can possibly fucking have. I'm not gonna have a girlfriend if I don't fucking work hard. I'm playing video games. I'm gonna be a loser. Like, oh my god, dude. Just do whatever the fuck you want. If some, like, girl comes by who's into what you're doing, then that's cool. If not, then they can go fuck themselves. Like, holy shit. How much of an insecure beta male fucking loser do you have to be to, like, constantly think, girls aren't gonna like me if I don't fucking make enough money?
Is that going to be one extra body count in your future wife because you just wanted to take it, you wanted to disagree with my advice and say, like, 1 hour of video games?
Wow. Yeah, imagine, like, having this mindset. I gotta make sure I make enough money so if I meet a girl, I can have sex with her first before some other guy does.
Fine. We don't talk about this in the modern day, but this is exactly what's happening. And you know why this advice is actually quite popular? Like, when I talk about this concept of, like, other guys approaching your girl, because every guy knows that this shit is actually true. Every guy, whether you've experienced this or not, every guy in his gut knows that this is 100% happening. That the woman that you want right now, like, she's somewhere out there. Maybe you haven't even met her. She's living her normal life. She doesn't even know you yet. And other men want her today, and they will try, and maybe they will succeed.
If you're going to come into every relationship with the idea that I have to make sure that I make enough money and I'm, like, in the best shape possible so that, like, every time I meet a girl that reduces the chances of her having sex with somebody else, like, you are never going to have a healthy relationship with that fucking mindset. Like, that is just crazy. That is a bizarre way to think.
Because you haven't been working hard enough yet. This doesn't mean that you need to be, working to make money 16 hours a day and working over shifts and, being sleep deprived. It's to be productive 100% of the day, but productivity still equals getting good sleep, eating a good diet, social connection, sunlight, playing, those things that are still really...
What? So, I'm sorry, this guy literally said video games and, movies and shit, oh, they're degenerate activities. And then he literally just mentioned, oh yeah, make sure you have fun and enjoy yourself and, like, play, for... during the day. Like, what?
Healthy for you, that will improve your brain. Of course, working on your business or career is a big part of that. But my advice here is not to, like, just blindly try to work 18 hours a day, but rather to be as productive as possible. Quite a lot of...
Yeah, be as productive as possible because you're insecure that a girl you like might date another guy before you, okay?
young men actually doubt me when I say that I'm relatively like 100% productive. Like maybe that's a bit far reaching, but probably a solid 80% is like my average. I'm productive for about 80% of like the minutes of my day. I'm doing something that's useful.
Again, this guy self-admitted he only worked 3 hours in an entire week when he was making the most amount of money he ever did on YouTube.
That's going towards my goal. Again, this doesn't mean I'm working for 10, 20 hours a day. It means that I'm reading. It means that I'm learning. It means that I'm actually working. I'm recording these videos. I'm speaking to my...
Okay, I'll translate this for you. Productive to him means doing whatever the fuck he wants. So, he might go to the gym, he might spend time with his girlfriend or friends, he'll play video games, watch movies, like maybe a documentary or something, and he considers that being productive. I consider that doing whatever the fuck you want. Like, let's be real, you do whatever the fuck you want to do.
My team, I'm eating healthy food, I'm sleeping, I'm getting ready for sleep, I've got morning routines, nighttime routines. Wasted time?
I'm sorry, he considers being productive getting ready for sleep? Like, I guess it's healthy, but I don't know if I'd consider that productive. Like, what are we even defining as productive? So him, like, reading a fucking book before going to bed is him being productive? That's not just you enjoying yourself?
Consuming on your phone, just watching random shit that's not even helping you. Saying that, oh, well, I just want like an hour to rest at the end of the hard day. Like so many young guys like to cope and just playing some video games then, watching some anime. What I've seen is those men or those boys.
Again, this guy is saying you should have no free time to yourself. As if this is coming from a guy who, again, had a 3-hour work week.
Sorry. Who are really into like anime and video games. They don't want to ever hear this message. Because their addiction is so strong that for them, anyone who disagrees with...
Buddy, you had a 3-hour work week. You played video games and watched anime. This is all projection.
Like playing 5 hours of video games or watching a bunch of anime, they just shut it off and they just think to themselves, yeah, he's a bad guy. Haha, he doesn't know how to relax and enjoy himself at the end of a hard day. It's like, bro, your day's not that hard. Don't bullshit yourself and don't bullshit me. You're like some anime watcher. His day is not that hard, but he'll tell...
So if you watch anime, that means you weren't working hard. This guy does not even logic. Apparently, if you watch a fucking movie or play video games, you weren't working hard before you were watching a movie or playing video games. What the fuck? No! They're just harassing that dog. Thanks for that donation, Kid Boo.
You're like, no, but 1 hour of watching stuff, like some brain-frying content is fine. 1 hour of video games at the end of the hard day is fine. And it's actually like 1 hour and 45 minutes, but he won't admit it. He'll tell you it's like 1 hour a day or half an hour a day. And then he's wondering why he's not getting promotions in work. Then he's wondering why he's not getting results in business. The success...
If you watch anime, you're not going to get a promotion at work. Got it.
best that you want comes from the work that you're refusing to do. It comes from the work that you're coping and pretending that you're getting into when really all...
Like, this guy doesn't really realize, like, most jobs, there's a limit to the amount of work you can possibly do. Like, a lot of times, especially if you work in, like, a service industry job, they might allow you to go home early because there just aren't any more clients. Like, what is he talking about?
All you're doing is thinking about it a lot instead of actually just doing the work. That's why my best piece of advice is...
This doesn't even make any sense. Like, again, if you're working in a job in, like, a service industry, if you run out of clients, how the fuck are you going to work anymore?
Still the same one that I say at the end of every single video that I post. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.
That was one of the dumbest videos that guy ever fucking made. Well, the take home is, again, if you watch anime or play video games, you're not working hard before you watched anime or played video games. You could have you could literally work for 20 hours straight in a day. If you watch anime or play video games after a 20-hour shift, then that means you didn't work hard during that 20-hour shift. Let's see.